Hey guys, it's Em, and I've been interning at GraphTech Communications for the past 3 weeks, and I've made this brochure. It says brilliance, precision, lines up here, and then the fun part, impact. It has the GraphTech logo. Got the information on the back, and these also mirror to line up as well. So simple, easy brochure, right? No. So, don't get me wrong, 3 weeks ago, I would have never given this a second thought. I had no idea how much time and effort and skill went into printing these simple things that we see all around us every day. This is just start to finish my process making these trifolds. So of course I started with my digital file in InDesign, and this is a really simple pre-press step that I learned for the photographs in your files. So you're going to go into your links and find your photograph and edit it within Photoshop and open that up, and then go up to your edit menu and down to convert to profile, and you want to choose US sheet-fed uncoated or another option if you're doing something else. And nothing's going to change, but you're going to go back up to edit. You're going to say assign profile. This is the important part. Don't color manage. Alright, and you're going to save that off. And when you minimize it and click off, you're going to see that change happen right now. There you go, really simple, and that'll be ready to print digitally. This is my digitally printed proof, and I was satisfied with it, so I started to make the foils. You make one foil per color, CMYK. You use this machine and you try to line it up pretty centered, and then you press a button and it sucks it in and it lasers that image into it, and then it pops out the back and they're ready to go. Next, of course, you have to cut your paper that you're going to be putting into the press. This is called a guillotine paper cutter. Now those foils I was talking about earlier, I didn't get any footage of it, but those are bent on the very end and they're inserted onto the cylinders within the press. So he's got a bend there. So now he is setting up that paper to be going through the press. Now this press is from 1997, which is the year I was born, so I know it's 21 years old. He has to do a ton of this manually, which requires so much skill and so much patience. This project took a total of like 3 hours. So here's an up close of those ink colors: yellow, red, blue, and last is black. So he is pulling out our very first run, and you can see how faded those colors are compared to our proof. And he's going to check a few things and start to make some adjustments. So each of these levers on the side that he's going to press are actually releasing the ink for that cylinder. So we've only made a few adjustments, but we're going to check that and compare it to the proof again. There are a lot of marks on the edges of the paper that you're supposed to pay attention to. There's of course the title, there's this crisscross, and each color is supposed to lay perfectly on top of each other. And you can see in the beginning here, they are way off. So we're starting to make those adjustments. And like I said, he has to manually do this. So he's adjusting the yellow plate here and actually tilting it a bit diagonally. And now he's playing with the keys. And that's going to just release more or less ink in different areas. And now we're getting a little closer. And now perfection. Adjusting, checking it, and readjusting over and over takes the most time, but it was so vital because of that trifold. The colors had to be evenly all the way across, so when you folded it over, it looked even. So we left those overnight to dry, and the next morning began to cut them down to their 8.5 by 11 size. Now what he's showing me here is called jogging, and you fold the paper into a U shape and just hold on to those diagonal patterns you've created, and then just kind of tap it on the table and make sure some air gets in between those pages, and it helps with lining it up perfectly for the cropping process. With this machine, you can just type in a measurement and it will automatically adjust to that size, and you can put that wall down and make sure it's aligning with the crop marks, and if you're satisfied, you cut it. We used a thinner matte paper for some of them, and this is an example of offset. Our grippers, which are the little things that pull the paper through the machine, were a little too tight and ended up pushing that ink through to the other side. Once we had all of our papers trimmed down, it was time to fold, and this machine automatically folds things for you. It has a tri-fold setting, which you can adjust a little bit around to make sure that it's perfect and how you want it. And yes, we made this many tri-folds, oh my gosh. And just for fun, we decided to shrink wrap these. It's just a thermal shrink wrap. And it's nice and secure for packaging and traveling. And after this, we are good to go. I was done. It was the final product. And that is from start to finish.